Hello, my friends, and welcome to a space where pleasure is treasured, relaxation is not what you think it is, and life firing on all cylinders is what we're about. If you are somebody who wakes up every day asking for way more, consider this your happy place. Welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. I'm your host, Heather Nichols. Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. I am so delighted to be doing this episode today from my new farmhouse. We moved this past weekend and we bought this amazing farmhouse on 3.5 acres of land just outside of Boulder, where I've lived for about 30 years. And with amazing views of mountains and just a lot of beautiful space and nurturing energies. And it's like a dream come true being here in this place. And we are just incredibly grateful. And I wanted to tell a little story about the creation of the farmhouse because it's been such an incredible journey of creation, and it has really been, it's required everything that I've got. Both of us, my partner Brian and I, we've had to, jump through so many hoops and keep choosing it and be as determined as we are to make this thing happen. And it has, and it did, and we're so grateful. And I thought I would just kind of tell the story because it's a really cool example of the tools of access consciousness and the creative tools, the energetic tools of access in motion. For years, we've actually had this kind of dream of living on land and creating a place where people can come and be nurtured by the land and be nurtured by us and beautiful food and with me, like body work and private work or semi-private work. And it's been a dream of ours, a place where there's a movement studio and lots of cool outdoor fun things going on. And so it's just kind of been like, yeah, someday we'll do that. And there wasn't a specific plan. It wasn't like, this is exactly what we're going to do and when and where. It was like, let's do this someday. And honestly, I didn't even think it was going to be here in Boulder. For a long time, I thought, as soon as my youngest son is done with high school, let's get out of here. And it's funny because I started to, a couple years ago, give myself the permission to, and the space to just really start to explore new places. Well, where would we go? Where would we like to go? And there's a lot of places that we love in the world, and somehow this place really, Boulder has shown through for me. And surprisingly, because I thought I wanted to leave for so long, surprisingly, it's like, wow, there's so much beauty here. There's so many great resources here, and the land is amazing, and the weather's amazing. We have snow, which is not my favorite, but we have a house in Mexico too, so we can go there in the winter. And yeah, just really, having a sense of choosing something that I never thought I would choose. And I had to really go beyond all the points of view and the things I had decided about where I wanted to go, to be like, wow, actually, the place where I am, where I've been for 30 years, is actually a place that I love. So that was cool. And one of the things I did was I just started getting on, in the US, we have a thing called Zillow, which is like a housing, search engine, basically. And I started getting emails from them. I just set parameters of what I was looking for, and I started getting emails. And I got emails from Zillow for years, and I would just look, I would just open links, see what was out there, kind of get a sense of what my house might be worth. And and I gave myself also like so many options of like, well, we could buy land, or we could do this, or we could even just get like a small place, like a apartment or something, and just really exploring, what would I like to create. And in August, an email came in, and this house was on it. And I I clicked on it, and I hadn't seen it before, and I thought, this place is my home. I didn't think it. I knew it. I just knew it. This is my home. I know this is my home, and I know this is exactly what we've been looking for a long time. And so I reached out to a friend who's a realtor who's shown me lots of properties over the years. And I said, I don't have the money for this, but I know I need to see this house. And so that was the first step. And it was like, don't try to figure out how it's all going to go, how it's all going to work. And I didn't say no to myself. I didn't say, like, well, there's no way I could ever afford that, so I'm not even going to go there. It was like, I knew. And the house was like, come, come, come. And I knew. And so we came to see it the next day. And a whole bunch of things occurred after that. Me asking for help. Basically, I was like, I knew when I saw it, I knew, wow, like this is one of the most special properties I've ever seen in this area. And the house is a very special house. And my partner Brian was coming the next day, and he showed up, and we came and saw it. And I told him I was scheming to buy us a farmhouse, and he loved it. He loved it, and so then that was the beginning of like, okay, let's create this, and creating it from the choice to have it, and then knowing that there was an energy there, and then knowing also that the house and the land basically were like, we would like you, we would like you. And so one of the things I did was I started including the house and the land in the creation of us buying it. So I asked, and these are all tools from access consciousness, energetic tools that I'm sharing in a story form, let's say. But this is like the tools in action. So I was like, okay, so let's let's do this. And so we chose it. We were like, okay, we're going to buy this house. And what would it take for us to buy this house? And hey, house, like the entity of the house, hey, will you contribute to us finding the money to do this? And the house was like, yes. And then the land, will you contribute to us finding the money to do this? Yes. And there's lots of nature spirits on the land. There's the trees, there's the soil, there's so many different elements that we don't really think we can tap into, but we can, and this is how the energetics of creation work when we are willing to really step into something and use all of the resources that we have. And so for me, it was just pulling on all of those resources and asking, constantly being in conversation with this land and the house and the trees. It's like, hey, more contribution, please, and what can I contribute to you? And then the other thing that we did was started asking for help, asking people to, maybe get creative with us buying the house, like going in together, or exploring just like all possibilities. Everything was on the table. And we also needed to sell our house, and there was all these other pieces of how are we going to work this, and we also didn't think we could really get a mortgage. It was just a different kind of a situation, but we were able to do that. It was really it was easy to have somebody say, yes, we can give you a mortgage. And then it was really challenging after that, going through the process of it. But it was like the whole way I just used the tools of access consciousness. And one of the things that happened was as we were getting everything together, There were some other people that wanted to, that were very interested in the house. And so again, I used the tools and I was like, is this house mine? And the house was like, yes. And I was like, do you want to own me? Yes. The land, do you want to own us? Yes. Do you want us to buy you? Yes. Because a lot of times when you buy a house, well, I would say all the time, when you buy a house or you buy land or something like that, it actually owns you rather than you owning it because you show up to take care of it every day. So would you like to own us? Yes. And so, okay, please contribute. And so again, a lot of energetic tools, a lot of using the symphony energies. So the symphony energies are this is a universe. I've been doing some lives and things like that lately, to explore the symphony universe with other people and using some um, tools and explorations of energies that we learn in the Symphony of Possibilities class with Dr. Dane here, and in the Maestro class that he does, which is a more advanced version of that. And it's all about like just working with the energy, being in question, moving energy, changing energy, receiving energy, shifting, tweaking, all these things, and just like allowing the energy to move and roll, and we contribute to it. And as we contribute to it, things change. And that was going on with, other people looking at the house. It was like, you know what, this is ours. Energetically, it was like, back away, this is ours. And just the whole time it was like, with our mortgage, roadblock after roadblock. Once we got the yes from them, it was like, now we need all of your, financial stuff. And it was just all of these different things kept coming up as we got more into the process, like getting under contract and, agreeing to buy it was, um, a little challenging, but it was actually kind of the easiest part now that I look back on the whole thing. And yet and then getting the mortgage and getting to the completion of the sale was, just so many hoops to jump through. And in the United States, that's just kind of how it is these days. Like mortgages are very, complex to get, and the banks want everything, and there's so many rules and so much red tape and so many things that you have to just jump through, and tick boxes that they have to tick. And so we just stayed really present, and it was this there were so many moments where we could have given up. Like, it was like homeowners insurance. We had to find homeowners insurance that met the needs of the lender, and just so many crazy things. Or they were like, well, this is an issue, and this is an issue, and this is a problem, and you can't do this. And it was just like every day, okay, this is my house. This is our house. We belong to the house belongs to us, and the land. Like, what is required right now to take the next step here to, move forward with this? And each time it was just like asking questions, not trying to force anything, not trying to, um, bully our way through any particular process, but enlisting people to help us. And the most unlikely of people, the lenders and the realtors and the insurance people, like all these people showed up to contribute to this. We were asking for that, and sometimes it was more of a direct ask to somebody, and sometimes it was, I require help with this. Dear universe, I require some help. Who can I talk to? Who will show up to contribute to this moving and to this happening? And I just stayed in the question of that every day. One of the things that I was very present with along the way, because it was just the house, it was such a clear yes. And I've never had such a big creation and ask that was such a clear yes. That was, for some reason, for me, there's a little bit of like, if this doesn't happen, I'm not going to be okay, which I don't tend to function like that. There was something in my world of like, this has to happen, or you know, my whole future is going to be different. And I did explore that, and part of what I was aware of was that I was really aware of some entities on the land that really wanted me to be here and contribute to them and clear them. And I was able to just do that. It's like, hey, I can clear you right now. I don't need to buy the house to do that, you know. And but I was just aware. I was aware of a lot of energies, a lot of entities, a lot of different people. There was a lot of noise in the field. And so I had to just like show up every day and be like, okay, you know, and what one of the main tools that I used was all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory, which is the mantra of access consciousness. And it is so powerful in how it literally opens up miraculous energies so that we can start to have something very different. Like it's like it opens up this universe of miraculous, energetic, magical creation that is beyond anything that's ever existed before, and allows us to stay out of the reality of the nitty gritty, you know, and all the structures that keep us stuck, you know. I didn't dive into that stuff. I didn't interact with it. I only interacted with it to the degree that I could get the information I needed to proceed in a way that worked for them, the mortgage lender and all that stuff. It was like I knew what I needed to give them in order to, you know, have it move, have the process move, and and to understand what they were looking for and what they were looking at, and and but beyond that, it was like I didn't. I didn't dive into that whole world, you know. It was like I kept going, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And there were days where I had to say it all day long, all day long. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. It was in a way like the most challenging process that I've ever been through in my life, and so worth it. So worth it. We had during this process, we had a 6-day class in Access Consciousness, which is a class where we just really explore completely new spaces and universes and ways of being and creating. And that class was called Never Give Up, Never Give In, Never Quit, Always Ask a Question. And it was such perfect timing. It was going on at the height of kind of when our mortgage was getting really challenging. And it was, you know, it was like anybody else would have quit, I think. But we were just like, this is our house. We will do whatever we need to do to make this happen, you know. And even some other people involved in the process quit or thought about quitting, and then they rallied again. I mean, it was just, it was, it was, it was complex, you know. And but that class and those conversations and the spaces that we explored really helped me to see that how determined I am, and how it wasn't about forcing something where the energy wasn't there. That's not something I would do. If the energy isn't there, I'm not going to try to force something into existence. That's where you shift gears and you go to something different. You know, you play with different energies, you explore different energies, you choose different things. For this, it was like, I know it's my house. I know it. I know it. I know it. And one of the things I also had to do was also let go. Even though I knew it was my house, I also had to let go of it happening, because for a while I got so attached to it. It was really challenging for me to stay present with the energies. Anytime we're very attached to something, we need something to happen, we really want it to happen, we cloud our awareness of the energies of, you know, what we could be aware of if we were willing to really move with things. And so and not have a point of view about it. So I had to really, you know, go beyond that, that sense of like the need and this has to happen, and just be like, I'm okay. I will be okay if this doesn't happen. I will be okay if we don't get this house. And I know it's ours. And I know we belong to it. And yet I need to be willing to lose it. The willingness to lose is so powerful. in that it gives us freedom and it gives us clarity of awareness and whatever it is that we can look at to explore, like to know what's required to take the next step. So to have clarity of awareness around something, you have to let go of your attachments to it, and then you can have the clarity. So that was another tool that I used, was really like just running some clearings with the Access Consciousness clearing statement around my own need of this to happen, intense desire, and it was just like stay present, stay present, stay present. Last week we really got down to the wire with everything, and we knew our mortgage was approved, but it was like not final, and so they could always pull it away at the last minute. And I was so nervous. It was interesting. I was very excited. I was also very kind of uneasy because I didn't it wasn't it was 99% sure, but not 100. And I could just perceive that 1%, and it was like I was so kind of it was the little energy that was there that was really drawing my attention. And I also didn't want to put too much attention on it, to make it bigger. So what did I do? All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory all day long for many days. Every time I would think about, oh, what if it doesn't happen? What if it falls through? Every time I would think about something like that, I just didn't let myself go there. And I came back to, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And that mantra got me through and activated so much magic. And when I started doing that way more and I started asking for help way more, all kinds of energies changed. And I was also really using the symphony universe, just kind of playing with different energies and opening things and clearing things and moving things energetically, and even like moving some energies around because I was aware that some people needed to shift in the mix, and that occurred even. They weren't even people that I knew. It was just I knew there was some different energies required in the process, and so I did some things to change that. And this is all energetic, and so you have to trust yourself. Nobody can tell you if you're doing it right, if you know what you're doing, if you're crazy. So trusting you and your awareness, and your awareness of the energy is a huge part of the energetics of creation, because you just really, we have no idea. I mean, nobody can tell you it's right, it's wrong. There is no such thing as right or wrong when it comes to energy. It's just, what do you know? And the more you can trust that, the more you just get to know, and you get to move with everything. And that's what I was really doing, is just staying present and moving with things so that I could um, have as much clarity around all of it as possible. And all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And also knowing, it's kind of like, because we didn't even know when we were going to move. And I was doing a 3-day body class. I was facilitating that at my house. So I didn't know where the class was happening, so we told everybody, hey, this might happen in our new house, which is really fun. And what ended up happening is the first 2 days of the body class were at my old house, and the last day was here at the farmhouse. And I was just really clear with people, like, hey, this is what's happening. We thought we were going to move, a few days ago, and it got pushed back, and because our move date got moved like 4 days later. And it ended up being on the day that I started my body class. So what did I do? I asked for help, and we got a lot of help from people to help us move. And I had a friend magically come into town just totally unexpectedly and swooped in and like helped organize the whole move on my behalf. My partner Brian was there too, but she took care of a lot of things that I would have taken care of. And it was like I had to let go of control, because my whole house was moved on Friday while I was facilitating a 3-day body class. So I woke up that morning, everything was, in my house still. I mean, it was packed up, and then when I finished class that night, everything was here at the new house. And we came over and I got to see, my furniture was in place, and I knew some pragmatic things of like, communicating clearly, like, this is where the furniture is going to go, and, doing like a walkthrough beforehand, and just knowing what I required to have ease with it, and also letting go of my need to control it, because I'm very good at controlling. And it was like, I'm not going to be able to control this, so I need to let it go. And my friend Linda ended up basically moving us into this house as well, um, because I was working and I'm leaving for Europe today when you see this podcast. And so, and she showed up and she's a house sitter. Like, it's just all these magic things, like she's going to be staying here while we're gone, and all of this magic, all of this magic. And it was really from choosing. Put one foot in front of the other. Don't worry about what's beyond it. Just keep choosing. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. What are the infinite possibilities with this? And just keep playing with the energies of what I knew were true, and what I knew was real, and what I knew was going to be a great contribution to our future and to other people's futures. So, such an amazing process. And, in the midst of it all, I was facilitating, I was in the Middle East, I'm now going to Europe. There's been so much travel and creation, and it's been a very busy time. And it's the tools of access that have got me through. I've getting my bars run and getting energy work done and taking care of my body as much as possible, and just knowing that the universe has my back and I can relax and receive. It's been a huge process of receiving and opening up to the gifts of the universe and the land, and like, so here's the kind of closing, wrapping it all up or summarizing it in some way, is that the more we're willing to receive, and this is what this process has shown me more than ever, the more we're willing to receive and ask for help and know that all of life comes with ease and joy and glory, and choose way bigger than we have before. But the more we're willing to receive, it's like all of this magic can come into your world. And it is an increase of receiving that allows us to create all of this. Like, this house, I had to increase my receiving so much to own this house, to buy this house, to live in this place. And it was almost like the house facilitated me into that, in the process of buying it, and showed me the magic that's available, showed me the contribution that's available from the world, the universe, people, land, entities, energies, and just like, and it's like, if we just show up every day, we know what we know, and we keep going with in the spirit of all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory, we can create anything. And sometimes it's when our asks are way bigger than we think they should be, or that we think they can be, way bigger than we've ever chosen before, which was definitely the case for me with this house. That's where we really get to show up with all of our capacities and shine as the creators that we actually are, and find out what we're capable of, and have the ease, joy, and glory that goes with it. And it's been an intense process. I'm definitely tired, and it's also been such a phenomenal gift and something that's truly changed my life. The whole process of this. So I'm going to take you out now, because this is my. I'm not going to show you like a whole tour of my house. There's still a lot of stuff everywhere, but this is my sunroom. If you're watching, and this is my view, and I'll take you outside, because one of the reasons I wanted to buy this house is because I love having people come, and I wanted a place for lots of frolicking in nature, and like just enjoying the beauty of the outdoors and being on the land, body work and, classes and private sessions and private intensives and nurturing with food and, all of that. So we're going to be planting, we're planting a greenhouse. We're going to put up a greenhouse and we're going to plant a lot of food and flowers. And this house is welcoming to all kinds of people that would like to come and receive it. Here's some of the trees. And the views are just spectacular. The front range of the Rocky Mountains is right here, and the mountains of Boulder are particularly stunning right there. And it's just a massive view in all directions of the front range. And the land in front of us is actually land that can never be developed. So we're surrounded by space on all sides, and it's truly, getting blustery. It's truly a place of silence and peace, like deep, deep peace that I'm so grateful for. It's changed me so much already, and I really look forward to sharing it with the world. So there will be lots of classes here. I'm doing a 3-day body class here around New Year's. That's an access consciousness class, energy work class. And we will definitely be having a Farmhouse foundation class here in the summer of 2026. And you're invited for private intensives, semi-private intensives. There will be all kinds of things going on here. And I'm so excited about that. So, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Say it all day long. See what changes for you. Thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you for joining me for the Creation of Living podcast. If this conversation was inspiring to you, share the love. To work privately with me or for info on my upcoming classes and retreats, go to heathernichols.com. Have a beautiful day, and remember that the world thrives when you do.